We said we'd be joining the semifinals, and then we heard about some of our results. 1 versus 8 matchup. Team BCW versus the team of Eric Rose, Xander Riegle, and Bobby Colegrove. Legacy's done. Modern's done. Standard just finished game 1 in a blue-black mirror. We didn't...
Buckle up.
Yeah.
Grab a snack.
We were going to wait for these to be done, but then realized this could be an hour. Let's play some Magic. Bobby has taken game 1 over Brennan DeCandio as we start the second game.
You're really not going to see many runaways in this matchup.
No, this is a control mirror through and through. I think the big difference when you look at their boards is that for the mirror, it's Brennan Duresses. He has 2 Dreamstealer and 1 Nezahal, whereas Bobby has 3 Glint Sleeve Siphoners. Duress here, we'll see Disallow, Essence Scatter, Glimmer of Genius, Duress as the available options. 2 lands and a Scarab God also present in the hand.
Part of the reason to go for Duress early is that if there's an Arguel's Bloodfast, you want to get that one out of there.
Yeah, agreed.
It's not the find here, and this is kind of redundant on the things that it does.
I mean, if Brennan has his own Arguels, you might take the Duress.
Yes.
Otherwise, what do you think? If you're not, there's nothing worth protecting, what do you think you take?
So on average, Disallow is worth more than Essence Scatter. This hand is light on land drops.
This is a real statement. You actually took Glimmer of Genius, takes the one that's going to be guaranteed to be a 2-for-1.
Yeah, you are facing down multiple counter spells, so the hand doesn't change much if you start going through that stuff.
Bobby draws another Duress, so going to be some torn apart hands here pretty quick. Maybe imagine we'll get a look at Brennan's.
It's tough for me to get behind these Duress Essence Scatters decks, you know. Once you've cast a thought, once you cast a Thoughtseize, you know, like I just want to take that Scarab God, you know.
Oh, I want any. Why can't I? You know, I want one where you can take the land. I just want any card. And then it punches my opponent. They take 2.
There's some for 2 or 3 mana that do that.
Ooh, and Brennan's hand is a little more suspect to discard. He's got a Disallow and an Essence Scatter of his own, so same 2 counterspells, but the other cards are Field of Ruin is land 3, and then 2 copies of Vraska's Contempt. There's not much in Bobby's hand to hit with Contempt, and there's 2 copies of it, so he's just going to leave it there.
In the early turns, they are going to be largely about trading land drops. Both players a little bit light in that department.
Yeah, Brennan draws a Glimmer of Genius, a nice hit there.
Yeah, solid pickup.
Bobby, land 3 says go. Neither player has any more lands that are known about. And it looks like Brennan's going to be the first one to miss.
And he found something that can be disallowed. Search for Escanta.
Actually, yeah, Bobby didn't fire off that other Duress, wanted to leave up Disallow. Makes sense.
Yep.
But Brennan missing a land drop is a danger here.
Then it'll be a check to see if Bobby does the same. And we'll see how the game progresses. This one,
search.
This seems very much worth a Disallow. You know most of the hand.
And then says go. Bobby redraws another Disallow to replace the one he missed. But hey, Bobby didn't hit a land either.
All right, nobody's doing anything. Brennan picks up another Vraska's
that's
Contempt.
His 3rd. Will eventually be live, but not.
Bobby finds 4th land.
So now he'll Duress, leaving up Disallow. But actually reconsider.
Gets to hang on to commit to memory this way.
Okay.
And also just, you know that the hand is so redundant in a way that doesn't matter. The Duress was not necessarily good. Now, Brennan drew the 4th land, so suddenly your Duress is not good against that Glimmer.
Yeah, do you want to go for the Glimmer? I mean, it can get disallowed. Brennan's hand needs that Glimmer so badly. It is 3 Vraska's Contempt and Essence Scatter and this Glimmer. So he'll make Glimmer, and he hopes it doesn't get countered.
Some question over whether to commit that or disallow that.
Bobby will correctly counters. It'll be disallowed. Now Brennan's going to have to keep drawing.
The kind of thing about
Field of Ruin.
Committing is you probably have to disallow it in 2 turns anyway.
Yeah, so it's like if you want to just trade 4 mana spells, you can do it, but that you're not.
Yeah, the game's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Now Duress from Bobby. He'll see Essence Scatter, 3 Vraska's Contempts.
Okay.
I'm assuming. So what I like here about taking Essence Scatters, first of all, when someone has 3 of a card, why would you take it?
Yeah.
Second of all, now he takes Essence Scatter, like a Torrential Gearhulk is a mighty fine card.
Yeah, the Scatter's the only one that's good against Gearhulk. The Contempts are pretty whatever in that department.
Yeah, and that's all that's in Brennan's hand. So Bobby he could draw that. He could draw an Arguel's Bloodfast and just run away with this. I guess that's all he really can draw.
And both players know about the Scarab God in Bobby's hand. At some point, that card's probably getting contempted. Do you force the issue now? Do you wait on it? Does it matter?
Yeah.
So many questions.
And you wait to draw your Cabal Therapy. Yeah, there's no way you get through all those. Brennan draws a 6th land of his own. So his Torrential Gearhulks are now in position to be Essence Scattered. And Bobby drew Gearhulk, Ryan. That's big. Remember Brennan earlier duressed a Glimmer? That doesn't exile it.
Correct.
Yeah. And here is Torrential Gearhulk on Bobby's side. Now,
and there's
Brennan
no
has
fear.
his own. Well, does Brennan have his own Gearhulk? He could Gearhulk a Disallow.
No, Brennan just drew a land and played it. Bobby knew his 3 Vraska's Contempts.
Okay, so now Gearhulk going to flash back Glimmer. Sure, he'll get the 3 for 1.
Yeah. Now, yeah, the Gearhulk's going to be contempted, so Bobby's not really pulling ahead on the battlefield, but he is pulling ahead on cards.
Right. I mean, all it takes now is for him to do something like scry into a Bloodfast, something like that, and he'll really start pushing.
Yeah, and he found a negate here that covers a lot of Brennan's good draws.
Do you think you Scarab God and then negate the 2nd Contempt and then let your Scarab God eat the 3rd Contempt? Does this get you anywhere?
You basically manage what you want to do with Scarab God relative to how many counterspells you can leave up. You don't really want to tap out to be doing that stuff if you have good answers to Gearhulks.
Okay.
He still has that commit, so I kind of want to leave that up in perpetuity. It's just not really a compelling reason to take that down. And it covers so many of the things that can go wrong, which there are not very many. And you'll certainly be kicking yourself if you allow those small number of things to go wrong, where generally the game is very much going in Colegrove's favor.
Brian, I'm going to use a Field of Ruin.
Hitting Field of Ruin.
Okay. Was there any strategy? I guess Field of Ruins here are answers to the transform cards, and that's about it. Both players play
the lands,
13 basics.
Yeah, the actual lands, they are just lands that tap for mana and Field of Ruins.
Okay. I'm just trying to think why Brennan would or wouldn't Field of Ruin.
Get some of those lands out of his deck.
Okay. Get some out of Bobby's deck, though.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was there.
It's just like a really minor thing. There's not a lot going on there.
Another commit to memory drawn from Bobby. He is up plenty of cards. 6 in hand to Brennan's 2.
Yeah. Commit, negate, and Essence Scatter all available. Capacity to cast any 2 of them.
He only has 6 mana right now. Trying to find a way to push the advantage. Just Bobby draws a 7th land. Always fine for that. Now he has an option of Scarab God and with negate to protect it.
You just let the Contempt go.
You don't even try?
No. You want to leave up the counter for something that might matter from DeCandio, whereas you just know you're going to get contempted again.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Another Field of Ruin from Brennan.
Bobby fielding back. Just a lot of fields firing off.
Okay, so Field of Ruin targeting something, then Bobby fires one, then Brennan fires one. If these fields are targeting each other, we'll see how many lands each player ends up with at the end of the day. Trading all of these feels like an advantage for Bobby. Now both players are much softer to search for Azcantas and Arguels. Well, not really Arguel's Bloodfast. You don't even want that one to transform.
That one's a good enchantment.
Search for Azcanta now is a big deal, and I think because Bobby in his hand still has negate and ways to answer Brennan's search, but now Brennan does not have ways to answer Bobby's. This exchange was good for Colegrove.
After 9 rounds of Swiss.
Yep, definitely agree there.
Your top 8.
Dream Stealer, one of the sideboard cards from Brennan DeCandio, is going to make an appearance. Likely going to be removed. If it didn't, it would be a big problem, however.
You can commit it, you can contempt it. Dealer's choice.
Commit. Put 2nd from the top.
And I do like that because that's not a very good draw. Put that near the top of the deck.
You don't like Dream Stealer as a draw here?
into this 5-card hand? No, not so much. One of them is going to deal with it.
Draw. Brennan knows what he's drawing next turn. And he drew, this is a big one, Arguel's Bloodfast. That should get a negate.
Yeah, that'll for sure get negated.
All right, he goes for it. Yeah, not negate. No, no, that's the card that wins. You can't have that one.
And another reason that Bobby pulled off that commit is that he did have 2 copies. The second one's pretty expendable.
In 7th place with 22 points, Derek Ralphieson.
Here's Dream Stealer again. This one's going to be contempted.
All right.
22 points and an opponent match win percentage.
Still feels like Bobby's ahead, but not really able to do anything with it yet. Torrential Gearhulk, that's the draw.
And this is just how blue-black mirrors go. When you're ahead, it's not like the game is ending anytime soon. You just have this position that your job is not to blow it.
And Nezahal cannot be countered. That's a play from Brennan. This one's one of his other sideboard cards. That's one of the scarier ones.
Brennan only has 2 cards in hand.
Okay.
And I believe you need 3 to protect your Nezahal. And I believe that Bobby has a Torrential Gearhulk.
First place for the Legacy Classic.
Okay. So
and there is a Vraska's Contempt in the graveyard.
Second is Oliver Tomorrow. Third is Andy.
yeah, he does have a commit, which actually gets around the no counter clause. It puts target spell top. You know, it's not like counter it and put it somewhere. This will actually work.
Okay, this line is intriguing. I suppose Bobby knows that the Gearhulk gets contempted at some point. And you're kind of fine with this redraw because it's very mana intensive and you do have it covered.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-for-1 when it gets covered, but yes.
And we do not have your deck.
Another land. Bobby now pressing a mana advantage. He has 8.
Yeah, this is a window where it's pretty reasonable to cast the Scarab God. Because Brennan currently has 7 mana and you can negate 1 contempt, hope to fade a land drop here. And then you still have the next draw that Brennan has covered. Then Nezahal is not going to matter.
Okay, so you're going to be getting the first contempt. Now, there are no creatures in graveyards, so keeping it alive isn't great.
Yeah, you know, 5/5's not bad, right?
It'll deal 5.
Yeah.
As they do. Brennan can fire off 1 contempt, 7 lands, 2 contempts in hand. Top card is Nezahal.
Yeah, you might even see Bobby pass on the fight. The matchup is a lot about patience. Bobby definitely showing experience. I've liked the way he's played this a lot. Yes, the whole game we've known that Brennan's been really heavy on Vraska's Contempt. Bobby's really using commit to make it so he knows all the information, nothing sneaking by, and he's able to just press his advantages and slowly just drain Brendan out of the game. It's like Fetid Pools was a draw for DeCandio. See Tannin Grace looking on. Pretty invested in this match, is he?
If he's going to get a trophy, Brennan has to win this.
Yeah.
Vraska's Contempt at Scarab God does eat the negate. Bobby will get an untap with Scarab God. Now the damage isn't that bad because there are no creatures.
And the thing about that Contempt is, once again, DeCandio draws and casts Nezahal right away. DeCandio won't have 3 cards to use the ability.
Well, also the Gearhulk in Bobby's hand means he might be able to just protect Scarab God. And oh my goodness.
Oh no.
And there's a Gonti. No. Brennan says, no. I'm drawing the top card in my deck.
Yeah.
No.
You cannot have this one.
Please meet the judges at table 19.
Oh my. Nicely played, Bobby Colegrove.
Once again,
No, you can have one of these 4, not that one.
Yeah, you can have a non-Nezahal card.
table 19.
He'll take Doomfall.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's good. It gets rid of the Nezahal.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it'll do. Here's Doomfall. Takes the Nezahal out of
Show me
Brennan's
your
hand.
hand.
He's not taking the
I
contempt.
will take your good card.
And that sideboard card, that one's gone. And now sinks the Scarab God. And Bobby really has taken control. He's going to go to Brennan's turn. He has like 1 turn to draw something impactful. And after that, Bobby will have the superior board and a blue Gearhulk in hand. That should be enough to bring it home.
Yeah. playing catch-up in this mirror is just, it's impossible. You just leverage your advantage when you get ahead. So few of the cards generate meaningful card advantage when you're behind on the battlefield. There's so many counterspells in the matchup. DeCandio fires off the Contempt. You exile the Scarab God. That's worth something, though Bobby's still hanging out with Torrential Gearhulk. The Gonti is still a clock.
And he just drew Argwell's Bloodfast.
Ugh.
Yeah. So a swing for 2 puts Brennan to 17. Bobby's going to, yeah, here's the enchantment for 2. He's got 6 more lands to go next to it. And you can see it on Brennan's just how he untaps, so he knows it's coming.
Just gets a little bit worse with every turn.
Right. Pay 2. It's going to be 2, 4, 6.
Yes.
Down to 16. Bobby's going to draw 3 cards here. Actually, doesn't he only goes down to 18. He's going to hang on to the last 2 mana. Starts attacking. And yeah, you see both players speeding up now. They're going to play this to its end, but they see it coming.
Yeah, it's pretty clear who's in the driver's seat. One of 2 cards in DeCandio's hands. Island, the other Duress.
More cards for Bobby. You know, there's a lot of really finesse going on in the early turns. When one person gets the Bloodfast resolved, this stops being a finesse game. That player just starts winning.
And the decisions matter a lot. Colegrove definitely had opportunities to throw this game away. He could have been really aggressive, played into certain things. Love the way he navigated with the commits. Just keep resetting DeCandio's draws. Knows about the hand. Doesn't play into the contempts until he can just kind of beat through those. And he just plays it really reactively, and now he's just pulling very far ahead. A grip full of cards to DeCandio's 2 blanks. 2 Gearhulks, there's a Disallow in there. Hieroglyphic Illuminations if he needs to draw more cards, so the Bloodfast just does that.
This card is really good in the matchup. And Duress from Brennan, but it's just a card quantity thing now.
Yeah.
And Bobby's got 7, Brennan has 2.
You can't Duress these Gearhulks. There's an argument to disallow this, but you don't need to at all. And yeah, Colegrove's just like, whatever, look at these cards. Do you have any chance of beating these? Gearhulks are better than any card that Brennan can take by a very wide margin.
Right.
We're not going to take the second Bloodfast.
Disallow.
Probably just looking at the disallow.
Sure, and that's what you take. It's the hard counter.
Classic top 8. Please report over to table 84.
And tail pass. Hieroglyphic Illumination for Bobby. Just going to keep pushing advantage. You see, he was playing the known cards face up at this point.
Please report to table 84.
Glimmer from Brennan. That one will resolve.
Yeah, can't Essence Scatter that.
He's gonna Bloodfast. He's gonna try to Bloodfast into a negate.
Love it.
Sure. Does it work?
Anthony
Nope. Brennan can have the Glimmer.
Ready to begin. Please report to table 19 to begin.
And that's fine. It's a little bit of value, but Brennan has a lot of ground to make up. Kept both cards. So there was a negate there. I want to say disallow the other. Oh, I think search for his Conta, actually.
Duress from Bobby. Brennan will negate.
That's fine.
It's hard to find things that are not fine at this point.
Yeah.
Swing. Brennan down takes 2.
Gonti just chipping away.
Down to 11. At one of these points, we may see Bobby, well, doesn't have to. I was going to say push the envelope by making a Gearhulk, getting some more damage, and he does not have to do that.
No.
He can just walk it in.
No need.
2 damage at a time. Every time he deals 2, that gives him permission to activate Bloodfast 1 more time. Just to stay ahead. Search for Ascanta from Brennan. There's a Field of Ruin in play for Bobby. He doesn't have to try to answer this. Well, actually, sorry, there's a field on Brennan's
field
side.
Covers the field, yeah.
Okay. It's going to let it happen anyway.
Bobby's ahead by too much, though.
We'll just make a Gearhulk.
Yeah, slam this one. Draw some cards.
Yeah, Gearhulk for Hieroglyphic Illumination. Draws Essence Scatter. In case Brennan picks up a Gearhulk, and now he untaps the lands. 7 power in play, much nicer than 2. Here's a 2-turn clock then. Swing 7, Brennan to 4.
So we can get started. Once again, players in the Modern Classic.
There's nothing like Damnation in Standard.
Field of Ruin hits Bob. Hits that last Field of Ruin.
And it has been, up to this point, a pretty dominant weekend for Team BCW, but looks like they are agonizingly and certainly meeting their end here.
And they did what they could, a big win in that round 15 to get themselves the 1 seed. Was not enough.
And this is the matchup here where the play draw wasn't significant. It's this blue-black grindy control mirror.
You mentioned Ross got 1 game in the Modern seed. We knew that was going to be a tough matchup. He wasn't able to take it.
Yeah. I'd say that game is above expectation.
Yeah, he brought it to 3. Transform on Brennan's side, but it's just he doesn't have enough material left to work with.
He's behind on mana. He's behind with terms of creatures. He's behind on cards in hand. It's too much of a mana investment. We just have a face-up Essence Scatter for most of the best draws. You know, that covers Torrential Gearhulk. So you can't do anything with that. You can't Escanta into that one in the first place. You can't hit creatures with that. Brennan just passes there. Activates the Escanta.
All right, well, he's got Hieroglyphic Illumination. He's going to do that. He's going to draw 2, maybe with it, maybe cycle it. There's a swing. Brennan cycles.
Okay.
All right, draws another Essence Scatter, and that'll do it. Bobby Colegrove takes the match 2 games to 0, and he, Xander Riegle, and Eric Rose will move on to the semifinals.
Really expertly navigated